A harmful past meets a hopeful future for two families in Blacksburg. This morning, the descendants of slaves and their owners met at the Smithfield Plantation, where their ancestors stayed in the late 1700s. Since 1774, the Mary Tree site has been bringing people together. WFXR News' Kylie Kidd was at that ceremony today in that historic spot that helped shape Virginia Tech and the surrounding community.
The Mary Tree was a gathering space of enslaved communities during enslavement, so it's where they came for funerals, for meetings, for religious ceremonies or church, and for celebrations.
Hundreds of years ago, Kiera Mosley Hobbs' ancestors were enslaved on that property, taking part in those gatherings. Today, she's at a different kind of gathering, now joined by the descendants of the family who enslaved those ancestors, the Preston family.
I'm here to retrace steps of my ancestors in a new light.
They met at the Mary Tree in Blacksburg in what could be the final time. The tree, estimated to be nearly 300 years old, was badly damaged in a storm in 2020.
So this is actually going to be likely the last official gathering of the descendants of the enslaved people, because eventually the tree, the roots are going to rot away, it's going to fall over.
Work has begun to memorialize the tree thanks in part to Mosley Hobbs. She's also the founder of More Than a Fraction Foundation, an organization designed to educate any and everyone about the history of slaves. It also co-sponsored the event.
Our goal is to retell history from their point of view, so we get a holistic period, because we already have one side. If we get the other side, we come together and get a fuller view of the history that we already know.
Dr. Menna Pratt-Clark with the Strategic Affairs and Diversity for Virginia Tech says the university is doing work to bring people together and inspire reconciliation.
But I think unless we understand the past and acknowledge it and try to learn from it, then we can't have the present or the future that we would like.
Dr. Clark says reconciliation doesn't happen overnight.
Before you can reach reconciliation, you need to be able to define it. And then after you define it, you need to be able to identify the blueprint to work towards it.
In Blacksburg, Kylie Kidd, WFXR News.
The Mary Tree ceremony was part of a weekend-long event to honor and remember the history of Virginia Tech and Blacksburg.